Welcome to another deep dive brought to you by the Spartan Café app. Today we're diving deep into a really impactful initiative, Mothers to Daughters. You might know it as M2D.
Yeah, and we've got some great stuff to look at here. Info right from the M2D website. They're about us, team, programs, news sections, plus their master deck presentation, which is quite comprehensive.
Right.
And we'll also be pulling from that really interesting article, M2D, Igniting Women Leaders Spartan Café. And of course, the Spartan Café app itself ties in.
Okay, so our mission today really is to get a handle on how M2D works to, build those crucial links between women at different points in their lives, their careers, how it lifts them up. And for you listening, someone who likes getting to the core of things quickly, understanding what makes initiatives tick, we want to show why this approach is, well, pretty significant.
Exactly. We'll unpack their core values, their unique way of doing mentorship, and their, frankly, ambitious plans for the future.
And we'll definitely be focusing a bit on their chair and president, Francine Vumbo, who seems like a really inspiring leader.
For sure. And that Spartan Cafe article really nails it early on, saying, empowering women isn't just good for women, it actually helps everyone. It really frames M2D as like a pioneer in this intergenerational mentorship space.
Okay, let's jump right in then. The heart of M2D, you said, is this intergenerational mentorship. What does that actually look like on the ground?
Well, it's about deliberately creating pathways for women to connect across different life and career stages. That's M2D's main goal, building those bridges. It's not just, random networking. It's structured.
Yeah.
It's about sharing that really valuable experience and knowledge, and importantly, building real understanding between generations of women leaders.
So not just informal chats, there's a system to it.
Precisely. Their main program, the Intergenerational Mentoring Program, it actually pairs younger women, the mentees, usually 18 to 39, with more experienced professionals, the mentors. This framework gives targeted guidance, sure, but it's also about learning going both ways.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, mentors often get fresh perspectives, and both sides really benefit from expanding their networks.
That Spartan Cafe article called it a strategic imperative, not just a feel-good concept. Why make that distinction?
I think it highlights that this generational exchange isn't just about personal growth, nice as that is. It's about strengthening society overall. When you connect that hard-won wisdom from experienced pros with the energy and new ideas of younger people, you create this powerful engine for change.
Right.
It's strategic because it addresses inequalities and unlocks potential that might just sit there otherwise.
Okay, and this flagship program, the intergenerational mentoring one, give us some key details. How does it work?
Sure. It's a 6-month program, and importantly, it's completely free. That says a lot about making mentorship accessible.
Definitely.
As we said, it's for women 18 to 39. The goal is to equip them with skills in entrepreneurship, leadership, and also emotional intelligence, which is so key.
So it's not purely business skills then?
Not at all. It's holistic. It involves direct mentoring, about 2 hours a month for mentors, maybe 4 for mentees. And a really key part is the matching. They put a lot of effort into pairing people based on goals, background, compatibility, trying to make it a really good fit.
That makes sense. You need that rapport for it to work, right?
Absolutely.
And the curriculum, what areas does it cover?
It hits key things like financial literacy, super important, and sustainable business practices. That shows a real forward-thinking approach. And the Spartan Cafe article rightly points out, by making this free, M2D is basically democratizing access to top-level guidance that many just couldn't afford otherwise.
It sounds incredibly well-rounded. What else is part of this M2D ecosystem, beyond the core mentoring?
Yeah, there's more. They know mentoring is vital, but it's not the whole picture. So they provide ongoing support after the 6 months. This includes things like actively making connections to VCs, venture capitalists.
Right, the funding people.
Exactly. And business accelerators, those programs that help new businesses scale up fast. They're opening doors to real opportunities.
Okay, so practical connections too.
Definitely. And another really interesting piece is their MEDAL initiative.
Metal.
Yeah, it stands for Men Elevating Daughters as Leaders. It's about getting men involved as sponsors, advocates, even investors. It recognizes that, achieving real gender equity needs buy-in from everyone, including men often in positions of power.
That's a really important point, not putting the whole burden on women.
Exactly. The master deck even outlines different levels for MEDAL involvement, from supporter up to legacy builder, depending on the commitment. Plus, they foster ongoing learning through workshops, digital office hours, a resource hub. They're even thinking about AI support down the line.
Wow.
So the learning doesn't just stop after 6 months.
It really sounds like they've thought through the whole journey for a woman leader. Now, underneath all this, there must be some core principles.
Yeah.
What are M2D's values?
Yeah, their website, the About Us bit, lists 4 core values that seem to guide everything. First is radical inclusion and trust. That's about creating spaces where every woman feels truly seen, heard, valued, embracing diversity to build authentic connections.
That feeling of safety and belonging must be crucial for mentoring.
Foundational. Second is excellence and impact. They aim high, wanting their work to have a real, lasting positive effect on the women in their communities. Strategic impact, ripples of change.
So, beyond just the individual, looking at the bigger picture impact.
Precisely. Third is collective empowerment. This ties right back to the intergenerational idea. They believe sharing wisdom and support across generations lifts everyone up. We rise together, basically.
The power of community. Makes sense. And the fourth?
Fourth is fearless innovation. They're committed to challenging how things are done, using bold ideas, creative solutions, breaking barriers, redefining possibilities. And these aren't just words. They seem to genuinely shape their programs and partnerships.
You can feel the purpose behind it. And a lot of that comes from leadership. Tell us about Francine Mbumbo, the chair and president.
Right, Francine Mbumbo. She's a finance professional, very accomplished, but what keeps coming up is her leading with empathy. It's not just business strategy, it's a real human connection, wanting to empower people on their own terms. Open-mindedness, patience, creativity, critical thinking, too.
That empathetic style must really shape the organization's culture.
It seems central. She really pushes a growth mindset, the idea that getting uncomfortable is necessary for learning and evolving. And crucially for M2D, she's all about connecting women from all backgrounds, recognizing the power in diversity.
Right.
Her big goal is to encourage women not just to succeed themselves, but to give back, to help shape the next wave of female leaders.
The Spartan Café article and her bio on the MT site really seem to capture that commitment.
They do. And her message on their site, on the Bridging the Generational Gap page, it really drives home her belief in this mentoring model. She sees it as more than guidance. It's a catalyst for real change. She talks about that reciprocity of mentors give knowledge, mentees apply it, and the impact keeps growing, building that legacy.
So, looking ahead now,
Yeah.
what's the big picture? MTD must have some serious goals for the future.
They absolutely do. Their vision is, well, it's huge. They aim to help establish 100,000 youth-led businesses by 2035.
Wow, 100,000, that's ambitious.
It really is. It shows a massive commitment to long-term economic empowerment for young women, fostering entrepreneurship on a grand scale.
How do they even begin to tackle something that big? What's the plan?
Well, it's going to take significant growth, obviously. They're aiming to secure $1 million in funding and in-kind support. Their strategy is multi-pronged, enhancing leadership training, expanding business acceleration programs, providing seed funding that early money startups need,
Right, crucial.
and integrating technology, maybe AI, for things like tracking impact, managing programs efficiently.
So leveraging both people power and tech smarts.
Exactly. And partnerships, as we mentioned, will be absolutely key to amplifying their reach and resources to hit that 100,000 goal. Their master deck actually lays out a 2025-2035 growth plan, like a roadmap for scaling up over the next decade.
It's inspiring to see that kind of long-range thinking.
Yeah.
What about their impact so far? Any concrete results?
Yeah, even in their first 5 years, they've already done over 100 formal mentorship pairings. That's direct impact right there. They've also hosted over 200 hybrid events since 2020, mixing in-person and online building community that way. And they've racked up over 50,000 online engagements, showing their reach and influence is definitely growing.
Those numbers paint a picture. Are there individual stories that show the benefits?
Yes, absolutely. Their website and master deck have testimonials, like Wan Chung, a mentee from fall 2024. She talks about how her mentor didn't just give advice, but helped strategize her resume, practice interviews, clarified her career path, gave her tools and confidence.
That's tangible.
Totally. And another, Lynn Cao, a newcomer to Canada. Her mentor helped her recognize her strengths, navigate cultural stuff professionally, and prepare for her job search. Big boost in confidence and feeling connected. So yeah, real stories of career progress and empowerment.
Those personal accounts really hit home. Okay, let's circle back to our sponsor, the Spartan Café app. How does it connect with what M2D is doing?
There are some really strong parallels, actually. Spartan Cafe is designed as this dynamic ecosystem for ambitious people wanting to learn, connect, grow. In many ways, it mirrors M2D's focus on creating an empowering, collaborative space.
Okay.
The app offers networking, business resources, even AI consultants for advice.
So fostering connections and knowledge access,
Yeah,
like M2D.
exactly. It encourages users to build networks, access knowledge, aligns perfectly with M2D's focus on connection, mentoring, growth. They call it the first social app you can talk to. You can have actual voice chats with AI consultants, and there's a community focused on collaboration, not just likes.
Right. Prioritizing ideas and passion.
Yeah, and it has practical tools too.
Like what?
Things for building business credit, crowdfunding options, direct access to funding sources, a network of lenders. It's meant to be a toolkit for entrepreneurs and innovators, much like M2D provides guidance and connections through its programs.
So for listeners who are inspired by M2D and maybe looking to build their own networks and find resources, what's a good next step?
Well, if you want to explore that kind of empowering, connection-focused space, definitely check out the Spartan Café app. It's on iOS, Android, easy to find. It offers a really unique space for connection and growth, and you can try it out. Your first week is totally free.
Nice.
You can get more info and download it at spartan-cafe.com. That's SPARTAN-cafe.com. A great way to jump into a community of driven people and get access to useful tools.
Mothers to Daughters really is a powerful example of empowering women through, well, intentionally fostering those generational links. They're focused on mentorship combined with that whole support ecosystem like Metal, driven by clear values, and Francine Mvumbo's leadership.
Yeah.
It's just a really strong approach to creating lasting change.
And that goal, 100,000 youth-led businesses by 2035, it just screams long-term commitment to economic empowerment and building a future where women are really leading at scale. It's about more than individual wins. It's about building a more equitable, prosperous future by lifting up that next generation.
Yeah, this whole deep dive really highlights the power of, structured support, that wisdom passed between generations, and how strategic partnerships can unlock so much potential. It's great seeing it work through M2D.
Absolutely. And for everyone listening, if you're feeling motivated to build your own network, find resources, connect with other driven folks, again, consider exploring the Spartan Cafe app. It shares that same